stories of that ingenious hero who traveled far and wide after he had sacked the famous town of Troy. Many cities did he visit, and many were the nations with whose manners and customs he was acquainted. Moreover, he suffered much by sea while trying to save his own life and bring his men safely home.
A story containing adventure, romance, battles, magic, and danger, the Odyssey is truly a tale for the ages, which would explain just how the epic tale has been remembered for so long.
The Odyssey tells the story of Odysseus, a great war hero trying to return home from a battle long over. The journey home fares to be more difficult than the war itself. However, as Odysseus spends 10 long years struggling to return to his family,
along the way, Odysseus meets monsters, angry gods, vengeful sorceresses, and all sorts of trials and temptations that hinder his way home.
Odysseus is easily identified as the hero of the story. He exhibits the traits of a Greek mythology leader: strength, courage, nobility, a thirst for glory, and confidence in authority. His most distinguishing trait, however, is his sharp intelligence.
Odysseus' quick thinking helps him out of some very tough situations, like escaping the dreaded Cyclops, Polyphemus, by cleverly blinding him.
He is also a convincing, articulate speaker and can win over or manipulate his audience with ease. He often earns help from the gods who have taken a liking in him and aid him on his journey home. The side plot of the story revolves around Odysseus' son, Telemachus.
Just an infant when his father left for Troy, Telemachus is still maturing when the Odyssey begins. He is wholly devoted to his mother, Penelope, and to maintaining his father's estate, but he does not know how to protect them from the suitors who have flagged his father's house and his mother since Odysseus' disappearance.
Though Penelope has not seen Odysseus in 20 years, and despite pressure the suitors place on her to remarry, she never loses faith in her husband.
Though her love for Odysseus is unyielding, she responds to the suitors with some indecision. She never refuses to marry outright. Instead, she puts off her decision and leads them with promises that she will choose a new husband as soon as certain things happen. Her astute delaying tactics reveal her sly and artful side. As the goddess of wisdom and battle, Athena naturally has a soft spot for the brave and wily Odysseus. She helps him out of many tough situations and sometimes persuades other gods to help too. She often helps Telemachus, but she has the most affection for Odysseus. Athena is confident, practical, clever, a master of disguises, and a great warrior, characteristics she finds reflected in Telemachus. Some other important characters are Poseidon, the god of the sea. He despises Odysseus for blinding his son, the Cyclops Polyphemus, who constantly hampers his journey home.
Zeus, king of gods and men, who mediates the disputes of the gods on Mount Olympus. He sometimes helps Odysseus or permits Athena to do the same.
Calypso, the beautiful nymph who falls in love with Odysseus when he lands on her island home of Ogygia. Calypso holds him prisoner there for 7 years until Hermes, the messenger god, persuades her to let him go.
Circe, the beautiful witch goddess who transforms Odysseus' crew into swine when he lands on her island.
The suitors, who stay at Odysseus' estate in his absence, abusing it and vying for Penelope's attention. They are cruel and deceitful, at one point hatching a plot to kill Telemachus. The composer of the Odyssey, which is essentially a very long poem or an epic, Homer, is unarguably the greatest poet of ancient times.
Although it is not known for sure when Homer was born, the time of his birth is estimated somewhere in the 8th century BC. Not much is known about Homer. In fact, people aren't even certain if he existed. Therefore, his poems are used to depict his personality and life.
For example, Homer is thought to be blind due to the description presented of a blind bard in the Odyssey. Other than being a poet, historians believe that Homer was also a storyteller and a court singer.
Although there has been a great deal of controversy about the question whether Homer alone wrote his famous poems, much of the evidence points towards Homer being the author due to the consistent style of writing. At its heart, the Odyssey is a story about perseverance and what one man will do to reunite with his family.